What's good, guys? Fantasy Joe back here with some more fantasy football content. Today I am talking buy low players. If you guys are new to the channel, make sure you hit that subscribe button. I post all the fantasy content you need to win that championship, to give you that edge over your friends and family and be victorious at the end of the year. After all, that's what it's all about. Post weekly rankings, waiver wire, as well as buy low, sell high videos, so you get all of that up-to-date information to dominate. And if you guys have any questions or comments, all you have to do is drop them in the comment section down below. Trade advice, start sit, should I cut this player, whatever it may be, review my roster. I can do it all for you guys. I respond to every single comment. So you get a fantasy hotline by hitting that subscribe button and commenting down below. So let's dive into our first buy low player. First up is TreVeyon Henderson. Main reason I have him as a buy low right now, played close to 50% of snaps this last week, which is going up for him. Antonio Gibson also went down with a season-ending ACL tear. That means there's more snaps to go around for TreVeyon Henderson as well as Ramondre Stevenson. That three-headed backfield has turned into two. I still think Henderson is going to be the second running back used, but Ramondre Stevenson, continues to fumble the rock. He did it all last year. He's done it a lot so far this year. I think he's at 3 or 4 fumbles already. That will not play season long. And TreVeyon Henderson is bound to get going eventually. And we've seen rookie running backs start slow in the past. Think of guys like Jahmyr Gibbs, Nick Chubb. There's plenty of examples out there, but he just really hasn't been given the opportunity yet, and that opportunity share is about to go down, as we discussed with that injury to Gibson and some of the other factors in that depth chart. So I think the second half of the season is going to be much better for TreVeyon, and I think you can acquire him right now for very, very little with how frustrated fantasy football managers are with him. Moving on, we got another one. This one I'm also very excited about. McMillan, another rookie. Let's scroll down here and check a look at some of these target numbers. 9, 10, 8, 8, 8. Things are going to get better for him, especially this week in a good matchup against Dallas. We've seen Sauce get exposed by some wide receivers here lately, and then Buffalo after that. I think the target volume is going to continue. I think better days are ahead for fantasy. He hasn't scored a touchdown yet, and he's still putting up pretty solid numbers for a rookie wide receiver through his first 5 weeks of his NFL career. Typically, we see rookie wide receivers score about 20% more fantasy points over the second half of the season compared to the first. These are all reasons why you go out in there and acquire an alpha wide receiver in McMillan. And I think, again, you can do this for a very reasonable price. So I would see if I could turn a Keenan Allen into McMillan with the starts they've gotten off to. I like McMillan a lot better rest of the season and view him as a top 15 wide receiver. Another player to acquire. These two are both kind of in the same bracket to me. If you're a 3-2 team out there with a bunch of points, or you're a 4-1 team, 5-0, you're trying to make that move to cement, give you that difference maker in the playoffs, I would go out there and take a look at a George Kittle or a CeeDee Lamb. Kittle will probably be back next week. CeeDee probably next week as well, or the week after. He might miss 1 or 2 more weeks. But you can go out there, you can get an absolute difference maker at wide receiver or tight end, a guy that is going to help you separate. These are George Kittle was a 3rd-round pick. CeeDee Lamb was a 1st-round pick. And these are guys that are going to get enough target volume in their offenses. The passing attack for both these teams is looking really good, especially San Francisco with their inability to run the ball. Dallas is looking fantastic, and their defense has struggled mightily, showing that they will continue to need to pass the ball this year. And CeeDee gets a ton of targets. We've seen him catch 135 balls in a year before. He's one of those guys who has the ability, when he returns from injury, to be the wide receiver 1 from that point on. And not many players in fantasy have that combination of skills. And you might be able to go out to one of those teams that has one of these guys that's missed all these games, who's 1-4, and buy them on the low. Kendre Miller, another name. I think this is a guy you can buy very low on. Kendre Miller snap counts and touches have crept up all year long. He's been very efficient as a runner. And we don't know if Alvin Kamara, he's missing some practice time right now. He could get traded. Kendre Miller could just take over the job as the main runner. Alvin Kamara will always be the pass-catching back in this offense, but we haven't seen him utilized a whole lot in that phase of the game so far, which is a big reason why he's been disappointing. Kendre Miller, though, is thriving as a running back, especially, like I said, running the ball in that aspect of it, doing much better than Alvin Kamara has done this year. So he's a guy I would look out there. Excuse me. I would go out there and look to acquire right now before, things pop off, things change. He's probably a throw-in on a deal. You go to the George Kittle owner or CeeDee Lamb owner, and they've also got Kendra Miller. You say, you just send the trade offer for one of those guys. You put Kendra Miller on there. They don't even think about him, and you acquire 2 stud players that are going to really help out your roster. Now let's dive into the sell highs. I still have a few more on the list. This one, Dalton Kincaid. Main reason, again, tight end 2. We've talked about this. 6 targets is his high on the season. That's not enough to continue the fantasy production that he's had so far. Not saying he's not going to have good fantasy weeks, but you need more target volume to put up 108 yards usually on a week than just a max of 6. He's also got 3 touchdowns so far. Josh Allen throws a lot of touchdowns. He's got good touchdown upside each and every week. But again, if I could trade him and go out there and get a George Kittle, if I could trade him and get a Mason Taylor and a significantly better running back or a wide receiver or something like that, absolutely would I try to package him with somebody else and go make a move like that. So Dalton Kincaid is a sell high. One other name I would also throw out there is George Pickens. Main reason being, I think he's going to be a good wide receiver rest of season. But with, like I said, CeeDee probably returning and him being the wide receiver 6, I do see his target volume overall going down. Still think it'll be a formidable pass offense you want to have pieces of, so it's not a self or nothing. But if I could take George Pickens, package him with another player right now, and go out there and acquire a JSN, and a Emeka Egbuka, that would probably be tough with how phenomenal he's been. But you never know some of these star wide receivers. Take a George Pickens and a Jalen Warren and turn that into Egbuka, turn that into CeeDee Lamb, do something like that. Get difference makers, guys who are going to finish top 10 at the position, not top 20. That would be one of my main advice with some of these guys that started hot and have their situation changing moving forward. If you guys have made it to this point in the video, please hit that like button, hit that subscribe button. If you guys have any questions or comments, just drop them in the comment section down below, and I'll respond as always. This has been Fantasy Joe. Thank you guys so much for watching. Best of luck this week, and I'll see you guys next time.